So I think air traffic controllers, it's all about at this point what jobs are really needed. Because if you are not needed and there's something that AI can take over, you're in trouble.
Major companies like Microsoft, Walmart, and Business Insider are laying off employees amid the rise of artificial intelligence in the workplace. And business reporter at Axios, Nathan Bomey's here for more on that. Nathan, thanks so much for coming on. Our team has tracked down some spikes in AI-related questions being asked on search engines. And so we wanted to bring you on to get your take and to be able to give responses to some of that. One of the big questions is what jobs you think will be first to go and what layoffs you've seen so far because of AI.
Well, just this week, for example, Procter & Gamble is saying that it'll cut up to 7,000 jobs. Although they did not use the word AI, they used the word digitization and automation. So I think that sounds like AI, because the positions that are at most risk are going to be positions that involve a lot of repeatable actions, data entry, data analysis, anything that requires you to sort through all sorts of documents at scale. That's something that AI can do really easily.
Is there a such thing as an AI-proof job?
I think that the most AI-proof jobs are going to be jobs that involve a lot of human interaction, because at the end of the day, AI can't really replace those interpersonal aspects of humanity. So just chatting with other people and trying to coordinate, trying to innovate together, those are the actions that I think AI won't really be able to replace. But if it simply involves just rote memorization or the sort of communication that involves really basic words and phrases, those are the kinds of things that AI can do very easily.
What it makes me think about is like, listen, I've had a lot of different jobs throughout my life. And I had situations. Again, I worked in banking for a long time and stuff like that. And I think that there are certain jobs where you could do certain jobs kind of, have mentally not being there. You know what I mean? Just kind of like mentally not being there, halfway asleep. And there's certain jobs where you could just go in and type whatever you need to type and do these tasks. I think all of those jobs are going away. They are extremely, extremely on the chopping block of going away. So not only have specific skill, but you have to have a specific area where, like he said, I think human interaction. So I think the job market's getting turned on its head a little bit. So what's interesting is that there's things like salesmen. Salesmen aren't going away. If you can sell, the engine for everything is really sales at the end of the day. Most people don't like sales. I've done certain aspects of sales in my life, and sales is one of those things that you can't really replace sales, because people purchase products and services, and there's certain products and services that people purchase on their own, right? And there's certain products and services that are sold to people, right? Meaning that somebody is pitching it to you to sell it. So I think in those situations, those type of jobs are not going anywhere because they're just organically part of human interaction. We could talk about also like counselors. I think counselors aren't going anywhere because there's a human need for counselors. There's a human need for therapists, whether it be physical therapists, OTs, occupational therapists, all parts of medical that the physical interaction between humans is not going anywhere. What it makes me think about is this, right? I think about America. We need to work on producing things. Like I said, I'm thinking about my kids. I'm not thinking about me at this point. I'm a man of a certain age, and it's not over for me, but I'm a man of a certain age, right? So I'm not at a point in my life where I'm sitting here worried about what I'm going to do in 20 or 30 years. I'll be retired in 20, 30 years, hopefully. but I'm thinking about my kids at this point, and I'm like, we all want our kids to just be happy. We all want our kids to be prepared. At least that's what I want. I want my kids to be prepared, and being prepared is really kind of looking at the world and saying, okay, well, you want to be able to provide for yourself. You want to be able to have a livelihood. You want to be able to have meaning, right? And, when I think about that, I said, okay, what's really changed? What's really changed for the young people? I think what's changed in 2025, when I look at the fact they're talking about these college graduates coming out and not being able to find jobs, I think what's changed is that humans, we've kind of gotten to the point where we don't really produce anything anymore.